Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to crochet these adorable and chic pouches. What makes these pouches unique is those layers or the folds that looks like the flaky folds in a croissant. That's why I named them croissant pouches. These pouches are actually very simple and easy to make that I believe you're gonna love them. Now without further ado, let's get started. These are the materials you're gonna need. These are the crochet abbreviations. This is the yarn that I'm using, and we're gonna start with the slip knot. Wrap the yarn around your finger like that to form the X. By grabbing that X, slip the loop through your finger and bring the yarn tail through the loop that you just created, and after that, pull the yarn which is connected to the yarn ball. That's how I make the slip knots. If there are different ways to do that, it's totally fine. After making a slip knot, you have to make 25 chains. Now I have made up to 25 chains and we can start round 1. For the round 1, we will start from the third chain from the hook. So count up to third chain from the hook and then insert your hook into that chain and make 1 half double crochet. This is our very first half double crochet of round 1. And we're gonna mark the stitch with a stitch marker. After that, you have to make 1 half double crochet again into that same stitch. So we make 1 half double crochet increase just like in the pattern above. After that, you have to make a total of 21 half double crochet by making 1 half double crochet into each chain. So count your stitches and make until you get 21 half double crochets. After making 21 half double crochet, there will be 1 chain left. This is the last chain, and into that last chain you have to make a total of 4 half double crochets. Pull the yarn tail tightly to get rid of that loop. And now we will make kind of like a U-turn, and we will crochet again into that lower parts of the chains that we just crocheted into. Insert your hook into the lower part of each chain like that. And we're gonna make 1 half double crochet into each. To start, insert your hook into that lower part of the chain which is just next to that 4 half double crochet cluster. And then put that yarn tail over your hook so that it is buried under your stitches and make 1 half double crochet. So just like that, make 1 half double crochet into each lower part of the chain until you get 21 half double crochet, after that 4 half double crochet cluster. And also do not forget to put that yarn tail over your hook so that it is buried under the stitches and you don't need to weave in the ends. Now we are almost at the end, and you can count the stitches again, starting from that 4 HDC cluster to check whether you have the correct stitch count. Into that last lower loop of the chain that you see, you have to make 1 half double crochet increase. So you have to make 2 half double crochet into that same stitch. After that, insert your hook into that very fast half double crochet that you marked with a stitch marker and make one slip stitch. So this is the end of round 1 and this is how it looks like. To start a new round, round 2, make chain 1 and insert your hook into that same stitch that you made the slip stitch into, and then make one half double crochet. Mark the stitch with a stitch marker. Just like I mentioned before with the text, slip stitch and chain 1 are not included in our total stitch count. Into the next stitch, you have to make one half double crochet increase. After that, make one half double crochet into each stitch until you get a total of 21 half double crochets. After this, you may notice that we have reached back to that 4 HTC cluster stitch, and we will do it with a sequence. First, you have to make one half double crochet, and then into the next stitch, make one half double crochet increase. And after that, repeat that sequence, make one half double crochet in the next stitch, and in the next stitch, make one half double crochet increase. After that, just make one half double crochet into each stitch until you get 22 half double crochets. After making 22 half double crochet, there will only be one stitch left. In that stitch, make one half double crochet increase. Now we can go and make a slip stitch into the very first stitch of the round, and here do not get confused. This is a slip stitch that we did in the previous round. This is the chain 1. So skip that slip stitch and chain 1. Go directly into that very first stitch that we marked with a stitch marker and make a slip stitch. So now we have finished up to round 2 of our little pouch. You can cut the yarn tail. Give the both ends a little stretch to flatten them. To start a new round, make chain 1, just like in the previous rounds, and start from that same stitch that we made the slip stitch into, aka the first stitch. Mark the stitch with a stitch marker. And for this round, it is very simple. You just have to make one half double crochet into each stitch, and there will be 54 half double crochet in this round. So just like this, make one half double crochet into each stitch all the way until the end. When you are finished, make one slip stitch into the first stitch to join the round. So now we have finished up to round 3 of the pouch. From round 4 to round 10, they are exactly the same as round 3. You just make one half double crochet into each stitch, and there will be 54 stitches in each round. So make 7 more rounds up to round 10. This is how it looks like after round 10. Count the rounds again to check whether you have 10 rounds in total. Now we're gonna make round 11 and add some folds to our pouch. Start with the chain 1, but this time you have to use single crochets. So make a total of 5 single crochets by making one single crochet into each stitch. After making 5 single crochets, insert your hook into the next stitch as usual. After that, skip 2 stitches Insert into the third stitch from behind like this. After that, you have to make 1 single crochet. So we inserted into both stitches at the same time and make 1 single crochet. And then we will have 2 stitches in the middle that we skipped earlier. Insert your hook back again into that middle 2 stitches like this. And then make 1 single crochet. So this is what it means by the pattern skip 2 SC and 2 SC together. This is what it means. After this, you have to skip 4 single crochets. Go into the 5th and make 1 single crochet. Make 2 more single crochet for a total of 3. And this is how we make the fold. We have made our first fold and we have to repeat this process for 2 more times. Just like in the pattern above, we have to repeat for 3 times. You can see that this is the 4 single crochets we skipped to form the fold. Now we're going to start again. Insert your hook into the next stitch. Skip 2 single crochets in the middle. Go into the third from behind like this and make 1 single crochet. Insert your needle into the middle 2 stitches that we skipped again and make 1 single crochet. After that, skip 4 single crochets. Go into the 5th, make 1 single crochet, make 2 more single crochets. Now we have repeated for 2 times and you have to repeat it for 1 last time. Now we have repeated for 3 times in total and successfully added the folds to our pouch. After this, there will be 16 stitches left on the pouch and you just have to make 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way until the end. When you are finished, connect with a slip stitch as usual. Now we have finished making the body of our pouch and you can cut the yarn. To make the flap, mark the stitch where we're gonna start. I'm gonna start from the last stitch of round 11, which is just before the slip stitch, or you can also start from the second last single crochet of round 11. I will mark the stitch with the stitch marker, and we will insert our hook from the front of the body of the pouch because we're crocheting right to left for the row 1. After inserting the hook, introduce the new yarn by placing it on top of the crochet hook, pull the yarn, and make chain 1 first. Make 1 single crochet into that same stitch. Don't forget to bury the yarn tail under your stitches. And after that, make 1 single crochet into each stitch until you have a total of 13 single crochet for row 1. Once I get that in single crochet, I'm gonna stop. If you want to add more stitches, it's fine, but your flap will turn out a bit larger than mine. You can remove that stitch marker now and we will start row 2. To start row 2, make chain 1 and turn your crochet piece like this, and just make 1 single crochet into each stitch all the way until the end, and you will get 13 single crochet. So I finished up to row 2, and just like in my pattern above, row 2 to row 5 are exactly the same. So you have to make 3 more rows up to row 5 by just making 1 single crochet into each stitch. And chain 1 and turn your piece to start every new row. Now I've finished making up to row 5, and this is how it looks like. If you want the flip a little bit longer, you can add more rows. To start row 6, chain 1, turn your piece, and make 1 decrease by using the first 2 stitches. After 1 decrease, make 1 single crochet into each stitch until you get 9 single crochets. After 9 single crochet, there will be 2 stitches left, and make 1 decrease by using the last 2 stitches. Row 7 is also very similar. You have to make 1 decrease by using the first 2 stitches and last 2 stitches, and just make 1 single crochet into the stitches in the middle. When you are finished, chain 1 and cut the yarn. This is how our flap looks like so far, and to make it cleaner and neater, we're gonna crochet along the 3 sides of the flap. We will start from the right side and insert your hook into the bottom of the very first row of the flap. After that, bring the new yarn. Make chain 1 first. Make 1 single crochet into that same place. After that, go into the side of the next row and make 1 single crochet. Don't forget to bury the yarn tail as you crochet along. And just like that, you have to make 1 single crochet into each side of each row. Since we made 7 rows in total for the flap, you're gonna get 7 single crochet on the first side. When you're finished with the first side, we will move to the second side of the last row of the flap. For this row, you just have to make 1 single crochet into each stitch, and you will get 9 single crochet from this row. When you're finished, crochet along the left side as we did with the first side. When you are finished, chain 1 and cut the yarn. We can also cut all the yarns that we buried under the stitches and weave in the remaining yarn tails. For this flap without the buttonhole, I'm gonna use these snap buttons and sewing threads and needle to sew these snap buttons for the closure of the pouch. Mark the place where you want your pouch to close, and after that, sew the snap buttons on these places. So now I finished making my pouch using the snap buttons for the closure. And this one is for those who want to use with a buttonhole. Row 1 to 6 is exactly the same, there is only a difference in row 7. For row 7, you have to make 1 decrease by using the fast 2 stitches, and after that make 2 single crochets. After 2 single crochet, I will make 4 chains and skip 3 stitches according to the size of the pattern that I'm using. So if you're using the smaller or larger pattern, you have to adjust here by making less chains or more chains, or by skipping just 2 stitches or 3 stitches. For me, this measurement is fine because you can see that my pattern easily slides through that opening. It's not very loose, not very tight. So here you need to adjust according to the size of your patterns, or it would just be very loose or very tight. So after the buttonhole, I made 2 single crochet and make 1 decrease by using the last 2 stitches. After that, chain 1, cut the yarn, and you can crochet along the sides just like the previous one. When you reach to that chain place that you did for the buttonhole, you just have to make 1 single crochet by using that lower part of each chain. Since I made 4 chains, I'm gonna get 4 single crochet from this chain place. Here you can also make a decrease in the chain place if you make quite a lot of chains and want to match the stitch count with the previous rows of the flap. After the chain place, you can continue crocheting just like the previous flap with the snap buttons. So this is how our little pouch looks like with a big button. And I think this one looks more chic and aesthetic. What do you think? So this is the end of our tutorial. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you all loved this video, which was just so simple and easy to make. See you next time, and happy pre-Valentine's Day and happy crocheting!